Hello everyone, JRR here, and this is the last time we're going to cover this little issue. Now, before I get going, I took a couple days to look for Fipps. Look for the original post and all that happy stuff, and it appears, from what I can gather, that Fipps has disappeared. Either they made a whole new account with a whole new name, or they pretty much bailed on Overwatch. They just left. Mainly due to the fact that most of the time if you change your name, it will augment the names on the posts and tags and all that happy stuff. But of course the main post went bye-bye. As I said in one of my other rants, either Fipps was pretty much harassed out of it, or the more believable situation in my view, unfortunately, because there's a lot more evidence backing this one up, is the fact that when Blizzard decided to switch to pose from the over-the-shoulder look here to the one that everyone knows as, well, as I call her, the fly girl, the pin-up fly girl, when that changed, Fipps turned up missing. At that point, Fipps was missing. Now, it would appear that the Fipps argument was about that ass, contrary to everyone else's belief. So for those of you who said it was about the ass, good catch, good on you. That's about what it was, because Fipps threw a fit about it and still left. Now, I'm not saying the pose is bad. I mean, everyone knows the other pose by now, but I'm not saying that's bad. If you were with the whole belief that Fipps was going after the pose for the pose, fine. I have no beef with that. But it would appear Fipps' actual intention was about the ass. Now, I did a little jab about this a while back, where I pointed out it's a white girl with ass, so of course it has to be penalized. And of course, no problem with anyone else showing off their ass. It could be a blue girl, green girl, orange girl, it don't matter. As long as it isn't a human tone, it's okay. But that's just another kettle of fish. That's a whole nother thing. Now, let's go over the other part where they claim that, well, Fipps says that this dance automatically pretty much sexualizes anybody using it, especially Tracer. Pretty much he starts slut-shaming Tracer because of this dance. Again, it's about the ass. It shouldn't have even been a thing, but when you do the think of the children and sex object line of defense, that's what you're going for. But with that said, let's take a few more examples, because I've shown some examples on my original, and we're going to go ahead and show a couple more because logic. Oh, there we go. A guy that is doing this dance, instantly sexualized right there. He is less of a person now because he has his back to the camera and is trying to glance over his shoulder. Man, that's just a thing now. If you have your back to the camera and you look over your shoulder at any point in time, you become less of a person and you become sexualized according to the post. So now he's sexualized. Good for him. Gotta get some of that Nightwing ass. Oh yeah. Right there with the tight buns and the tight suit and tights. But tights. With the tight, and he's doing a couple of sticks. Yeah, sexualized all over the place, just like Tracer. Really, humans? Because of the over-the-shoulder thing, that's instantly sexualizing people. So Nightwing's less of a person because he's doing the same stance that Tracer happened to have had. Really? That's a thing. That's what we're going with. That's okay. Fine. And I can see why Fipps ended up leaving, because the logic is a little flawed. Oh no, not another box cover. No, not another person looking over the shoulder. Wait, isn't this the same guy from the first one? Meh. He's resexualized because he's looking over his shoulder with his back to the camera. I don't understand. Why would they do that? Why would they turn him into nothing more than a sex object? Why would that ruin his character? Why would you do that? Why, directors? Why would you ruin a character development thing just by having the back to the camera? Why would you do such a thing? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do like the second posture a little bit better because you can see more of her face and she looks a lot happier and it fits more of her character. Fine. Those of you who had the argument about just the pose, and that's the reason, because the pose didn't fit her, fine. Both poses work because even in the first one, she looks like she's smiling, not the come hither look that the other freaking thing that everyone seems to think. Not even everyone thought that. It was just like, it's another pose. It's just back to the camera. Typical thing. But here's the problem I have. Everyone keeps saying, well, Fipps' initial argument was saying that the back to the camera, looking over your shoulder, instantly degrades a person down to a sex object. And as I have shown, even in the first video I've shown, I've had Batman do it. I again brought up Nightwing. Yeah, same picture, but I think it holds because Nightwing's in fucking tights. Showed Cammy White. And Cammy White's a little bit more of a sexualized character than Tracer is. And also showed frickin' Ryu of all people. Come on! Come on! Just because the back's to the camera and they're looking over their shoulder doesn't mean that it's instantly sexualized and you drop their character development to whatever the hell he said it was. Well, we're just going to downgrade. At any time, we can downgrade our property down to a sexual object. No, that's not Fipps. That's not what people were looking at. Don't know what you were looking at, but that's not what we were looking at. But whatever. The stance was changed to the happier one. And again, Fipps turned up missing after this because I guess he felt Blizzard trolled them. Well, trolled them. I thought it was funny because it looked like Blizzard was trolling people. It's like, oh, you have a problem with the ass? Here, let's do something to accent the leg and the ass. Here we go. Merry Christmas. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. That's a whole other story. For I know, I could be wrong, and Fipps changed the name, just got a different account altogether because people were trying to blacklist Fipps for, well, bringing us up in the first place. But the point stands. Is the neutral stance of back to the camera, looking over shoulder, is it bad? No. It's been used so many times for so many different people, and I brought up quite a few different examples. This video, the first video I made for it, different examples that show this stance being used beyond just the sexual stance. It's a basic stance. Ugh. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with... Why was this even a thing? Oh, wait, I know, marketing, because... What color is the dress? Black and gold or yellow and white? I said the whole reason why I thought it came up was because it wasn't because of the pose, contrary to popular belief. That was just the lead-in. But it's because it's a white girl. Look at her. She's a white girl. She's a cute little white girl. Oh, she has a pose where her back's to the camera. So what? Come on, people. If you're going to come up with an actual excuse for something, then go with the actual argument. Go with something that makes sense. Don't go and say, oh, it's downgrading the character. How? How's it downgrading the character? I'm pretty sure if you spun that original stance around to where you can see her face better, she's smiling. She's not doing the whole, come hither look. No, she's not doing that. She's pretty much doing the smirk of kind of that thing. That's like getting mad at the Joker for having a smile on his face. Come on. Well, the Joker turns back to the camera. What? Why? Why he turns back to the camera? Because he's about to push a button? Well, they move the camera in front of him so you can see him push the button. I mean, seriously, what the hell's wrong with you? Just because the back is to the camera doesn't mean it removes anything from the character. That's just to put it out there. So remember, just because it's a basic stance doesn't mean you have to throw a hissy fit about it just because they happen to be in some sort of tights. Again, I have issue with tights in general. Just in general, I hate tights. So I would have been mad at this in general because it's tights. Why does she have to be in tights? But then again, I've already proven that I'm a guy. Girls in tights, A-okay. Girls with looks in tights, A-okay. But then again, it goes back to the whole paradox of the third wave feminist. She can wear whatever the hell she wants, to a point. But then, if it happens to be something else, then no, you can't do that because you're a skinny white girl. What? You. Now, if she wore less than that, they'd probably throw a hissy fit. She kind of has that. How can I say this? You know the older X-Men cartoon with Rogue running around? That's pretty much how she looks to me. She has all the stuff on top and very little for the legs. Same thing with Rogue. You take off the jacket, you'd swear she was naked. Literally, if Tracer has an outfit where all that top gear is off and just tights, people would be like, is she naked? Oh no, that's the rest of her tights. Oh, okay. You would double check that just because. So, to sum up this whole mini rant, the whole back to camera thing is not a sexual stance. It's not. If you look at the expression of the character, you can see that. Now, if you can't tell what expression is because of how the picture is, that's another story. If you're assuming it's a come hither look, and it's not, then you're blowing it out of proportion. Alright? This is Double R, and for fuck's sake, y'all arguing over stances now. Good lord. I just feel bad for the cosplayers because that second one. Whoo! You cosplayers have some work to do. Someone need to get a wire, help them stand up on that, or get a pedestal under the foot to keep them hiked up. I don't even know how. Avoid this stance, cosplayers. Avoid this stance. Just the second one, avoid it, because I see people getting hurt like this. I see this happening. Or last second flick, quickly spring up there, do the pose, and people quickly take camera picture and all that. Okay. And now I'm worried about the cosplayers. Now I'm scared. Oh, you poor things.